a story. So, Joe, I love how you worked in charity into this. So, tell me some Papa NASCAR charity stories.
Yeah. So when I think of charitable people, my dad is honestly one of the first people that I think about. Um, and I have his Bible, so that that he had for all of his adult life. And I was flicking through it one time and just looking, and I was looking at the different things that he had highlighted in his Bible, and a lot of them had to do with charity. And
Was that
it
your
just
stepsister's name?
no,
Oh, you don't
I
know
don't
about
have.
stepsister. Gotcha. Yeah. Well, never mind. Sorry.
No, I have a step aunt,
You weren't
or
supposed to. You're not supposed to be told about the other family. My bad.
I have a half aunt.
She's just a.
Yep, just uh, I should tell that story at some point.
Oh Lord, yeah.
But
But
anyway,
okay, charity. I mean,
yeah.
long lost sister joke was better than the other joke. So
So, but so my dad, he there's just there's a bunch of different instances. I'll just share a few of them. I remember I was probably about 7 or 8, and we're driving down the side, we're driving down the highway, and we see this woman walking on the side of the road with a gas can, and it's small, but we pulled off to the side. We drove her to the gas station that was only a mile or two away, and we drove her back to her vehicle. Very, very small. Would have been super easy just to drive past and let her keep walking. But the type of person my dad was, that was just another Tuesday, as it were. And so he exemplified things like that. He was always a caring, giving person. All throughout my teenage years, especially, we every Christmas we would choose a family that we knew was struggling, and we do the 13 days of Christmas, and we turned it into a game. We would, sneak in wearing all black, drop off the present, ring the doorbell, and run. And it
sure,
was
yeah.
fun, but it always had meaning, because we always went out of our way to pick someone who we knew was struggling. And we were never well off. I mean, we before my teenage years, we had declared bankruptcy, but so
Mm.
we knew what it was like to have nothing. And there were often times where we, especially during that time frame before we declared bankruptcy, where we were on the receiving end of people giving us
Yep,
stuff around
yep,
Christmas.
been there.
And so, you know, we were doing a little bit better in my teenage years. My mom and dad were both working for Xerox, and so he wanted to give back in any small way that he could. Um, During those earlier years, the failed business, my dad was a mechanic. His failed business that caused us to declare bankruptcy. But there was, during those years, a homeless person came in to his office and was asking, for handouts. And what my dad did, instead of just giving him money, is he handed my older brother the family credit card, said, take him home, let him get showered, take him out, get him some clothes. And he told the guy, I'm gonna let you work here. And what ended up
Mm.
ultimately happening is he took the clothes, he slept a night, and he skedaddled.
Sure.
But that's not the point of the story. It's the point that
Right.
he offered. And some people are just not in the headspace to accept the full amount of charity that you can give, but the being willing to offer, um a lot of people, regardless whether you believe in God or karma or whatever, I believe it's going to come back to you. And my dad always put that positive energy out there. He always, and yeah, yeah. one of the verses that he had highlighted in his scriptures, and I can't remember exactly where it was, but it was like charity covereth sin or something along those lines. Um, and he took that to heart because he knew he was a flawed person. Everyone's a flawed person, and he took that to heart that if he can help someone out, it's what Jesus would do. And it's yeah, so it was just it made a huge impact on my life. And it's it's one of the things that I try to emulate with my father. um and I try to focus, especially now that both of my parents are gone, I try to focus on the good lessons that I can learn from them. Because like I said, everyone has their flaws, and if you dwell on the flaws, you can come up with a myriad of reasons why your childhood was horrible. And my childhood was good. I'm not saying it was bad,
You
but
had a bobcat, a raccoon, and a skunk. Of course, it was
oh,
awesome.
I didn't have a skunk.
No, I'm pretty sure that story's coming at some point.
But no, everyone's trying their best in this world, and so just help out your own people. What did Random Kid say? Yeah, Random Kid said earlier, I really wish that people would just be nice to each other.
Yeah, and then you see Joe flick his cigarette butt at a homeless guy at Dragon Con, but you know, he's different at Dragon Con. So.
He had a sign he was asking for.
Yeah,
don't kink shame people.
that's good.
Oh.
We've done a lot of the same with our kids. Some similar stories there. I can't say that I can recall specifically that my parents did that. You know what? There was a story. There was a story where there were these, I think 3 or 4 girls that were sisters or stepsisters, whatever, that were in a trailer park, and just bad situation. Trailer park was literally across the street from our house, which was at the church, and they went to stay with their grandparents. Your dad was. I honestly don't know. My parents kept away from me, so I don't know if there's jail. I don't know what the issues were, but dad was off somewhere. Mom disappeared for a while, and grandma couldn't take care of them. They ended up living at our house for a couple weeks, maybe, and hadn't heard anything from their parents. Nothing. I don't know what my parents were doing to try to track them down or any of that, but they were talking possible adoption just to make sure these girls had a place to be. And I mean, I think it was like 2 weeks. It felt like longer, but it was probably about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. Then all of a sudden, one afternoon, Mama shows up at the door and did the polite thing. I mean, it's deep South Georgia, you know, oh, so sorry. I don't know what excuses she gave, but basically it was, you know, thank you for looking after the girls. We're going to go now. And that's the last time we ever saw them. But that's about as close as I can get to a bigger story like that. But yeah, if you one of the greatest moments I ever had was I was working at the Omni downtown Atlanta, and this office, whatever it was, it's always big things. So they had pizza, and then the organizers, as they were cleaning up, was like, look, you know, you guys can have this pizza to, you know, the hotel staff and us. And there's a lot of it. So we all, you know, whoever was there from the hotel staff and us, we all just kind of divvied it up. And I was coming home with like 2 big boxes of pizza. And that I thought me and the kids would eat. And we were on the hustle, right? This is going to be good food. We weren't poor, you know, it wasn't drastic. We could put food on the table. But this homeless guy's like, hey man, he saw the box, like, you got anything to eat? He didn't ask for money. He goes, you got anything to eat? I'm like, actually, I do. Would you like one of these pizzas? He goes, you for real? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, what is it? You know, thinking I'm giving it. Yeah, I get it. You have the right to ask. Just because you're begging doesn't mean you don't have allergies or that you. I hate olives. I don't care how starving I'm gonna be. I will not eat olives. So I get it. So no, and I just kept no, yeah, dude. And we went in and set and opened it up. He goes, well, if you don't mind, I'll take this one. I'm like, there you go. And just the actual energy coming off him, just the happiness of, holy crap, that's awesome. And hopefully that he passed it on to some other homeless people. Because I mean, You're
There's a
homeless.
lot of pizza.
Yes, a lot. I mean, I do not fault you for hoarding that pizza to yourself however you can, but also
Yep.
hopefully it made a difference. So